Hello and welcome to Kingston Now. I'm Jimmy Buff. This week we'll meet Emily Scott, an up-and-coming young Kingston artist. We'll hear live music from John Holt, who has a show at BSP Lounge later this month. And we'll start with the Kingston Rotary Club. With us is Richard Cattabiani, Tami, Herendeen, and Errol Boreland of the Kingston Rotary Club, except that, as I find out, there are two Kingston Rotary Clubs, right? You're the president of the Kingston Sunrise Rotary?
I am, Jimmy.
Richard? And Tami, you're the current president of the Kingston Rotary Club.
Yes, otherwise known
Errol,
as Kingston Noontime.
Ah, okay. And Errol, you're the president-elect of which?
The Kingston Sunrise Rotary.
Okay. So how is it that Kingston, we'll start with you, Richard, how is it that Kingston has two Rotary Clubs?
I just think that Kingston historically has always been very, very active on many community levels, and you know, it was many people wanted to become Rotarians, but some people, because of their jobs and their schedules, couldn't make a noontime meeting. So 16 years ago, we started a breakfast club.
Hence the Sunrise. Ah, I got it.
Sunrise Club. So we meet at 7:30 in the morning, and we're done by 8:30. And if people from the noontime club can't make that meeting, they might join us at our sunrise meeting, and conversely, some of our Rotarians would join the noontime club.
Tami, what is the history of the Rotary Club? I guess it's an international organization?
Well, Rotary International, it's a humanitarian service organization, and it was started back in 1908 here in Chicago, Illinois, by a man named Paul Harris and several others. And, you know, Kingston has one of the founders in its history as well. That was Arthur Sheldon, Dr. Sheldon, who is buried in Montrepose Cemetery in Kingston.
So he was one of the founders of the original
Rotary
organization?
International, yes.
Wow. Is he the guy who brought the Rotary Club to Kingston?
I don't believe so, but we definitely have some very long-term Rotarians who have been in history of Kingston, including Mr. Harry Edson and other very known names.
Right, he has the elementary school named after him now, right?
And you know, our own club was chartered in 1916, so we're 96 years old at this point.
And how old is the original organization?
It's 100
It's 107 years
right.
old. Actually, it was started in 1905. So,
so you were right there.
Right.
Kingston was right behind the founding.
Absolutely.
Great.
We were very, very close by.
Errol, tell me, what does the Rotary Club do?
Well, you know, the Rotary Club is you know, an international organization, and you know, it's actually involved with a lot of community-related activities. And I mean, at top of the agenda, as far as I know, is the drive to eradicate polio, and this is one of their major goals. And I think up to this point, we are about 99%. We only have a small fraction of the world that's still affected by polio, and mainly in Afghanistan, I think.
Yes.
And you know, there's a drive now to actually get to that last 1%. The organization is actually partnering with the Bill
and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Right. Who actually gave us about $355 million, and we are actually matching up with that. So it's a, you know, it's a continuous drive, and they have made consistent progress in that area.
I think, and Richard, you can educate me on this. I think for a lot of people, the idea of a Rotary Club seems to be business-oriented, but on your website, one of the phrases that stood out to me was to build goodwill and peace in the world. And that doesn't sound necessarily very business-oriented.
Well,
not that that's opposed to that business.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But you know, oftentimes, in order to do well in business, you have to be ethical and good, because we all know that the word ultimately gets out that the best possible advertising you can get is to be just honest and straight up in your transactions with people. And almost everybody in our Rotary Club in our district throughout the state of New York, they are very, very honest and straightforward folks who would not bait and switch, so to speak. So we feel that people may join Rotary because they think there's some opportunity for business networking, which there is, but generally speaking, it is really not about you, it is about helping others.
Tami, the logistics of having two Rotary clubs in the same city, is that unusual for Rotary clubs?
Actually, it's not. In larger cities especially, there are multiple clubs. Our city at one point had, for our main club, maybe 90 members. But as Richard said, our work life has changed quite a bit. Our work-life balance has changed quite a bit. So making the availability of a morning club as well as a noontime club in a area that's populated by lots of old IBMers as well as teachers and educators for the colleges. We want to be available to all that are in our general area.
Well, the Rotary Club is a service organization. I'm going to find out how each of you got involved when we come back after this break.
Thank you.
You're watching Kingston Now. More with the Kingston Rotarians when we come back. Welcome back to Kingston Now. This week we're talking about the works and philosophy of the Rotary Club, and before the break I mentioned that it's a service organization, and before that we're talking about that it's had its origins in business. Yet are each of you a businessman? Like I know you work at SUNY Ulster, right, Richard?
Yes, I do. I'm the Director of International Programs, which is where I got connected because Rotary is an international organization and I wanted to find ways to grow the college's program by looking into Rotary. And then I realized that Rotary offers more international scholarships exchanges than any other service organization on the planet. So my interest was in having to get our students from Ulster County Community College to broaden their experience, and so my connection with Rotary was based upon that. And it's been really quite remarkable how much Rotary has helped the students at our school.
Errol, what's your day job? What do you do?
I'm actually an agent with Liberty Mutual.
Okay, so you're a business person. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and funny enough, how I actually came into to join the Kingston Sunrise Rotary. I was actually at a chamber event, you know, the Ulster County Chamber monthly meeting, and I think it was Andrea Laurie, who actually, you know, just came up to me and said, "Hi, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Hello. How are you? What's your name? You know, what are you about?" And she just said, "You know, I'm from Kingston Sunrise Rotary, and this is what we are, this is who we are, and this is what we do." And I said, "Fine, you know, and would you like to join us one morning for breakfast? I mean, breakfast is on me." And I said, "Fine." And I turned up at the Dyson restaurant for their first meeting, and ever since then I've been going there. I mean, I think the thing that actually struck me from my first visit was, you know, when they repeated the tenet, they were like, "Is it the truth? Is it beneficial to all concerned? And, you know, will it build goodwill and better friendship?" And I was like, wow. I mean, I've never heard that at any, you know, organization that I've ever been involved with. And I've been going there ever since.
And Tami, what's your background?
I am an employer outreach manager for 511 New York Rideshare, so I promote carpooling and alternative transportation.
Oh, that's a great thing. How did you get involved with the Rotary Club?
Well, I'm always interested in organizational leadership. Communication's a big thing. I love my community. I want to do more for my community and my family. And it just was the perfect place for me to be. This is where I'm meant to be.
So what are some of the events that the Rotary Club has coming up? Let's get some specifics.
Well, we're looking very closely at starting an Interact Club at Kingston High School. So one of the shared services that the Noon Club and the Sunrise Club decided, and as a school teacher, I'm very focused on, you know, bringing new blood, if you will, into the organization, and what better place to start with the youngsters. So we are awaiting Board of Education approval, which I am assured will be not a problem, and that in January we'll start our Interact Club, which is young Rotarians. And our first job will probably be working with the problems of Sandy, Irene still continuing, and Katrina. People forget about that, so we're looking at a shelter box initiative, which is a kind of package deal where the kids would send these aid packages to places that are most need the help.
Wow, that's outstanding.
We're quite pleased. I would like to say that we're very pleased with Adrian Manuel, the principal's support, and Superintendent Palladino's support, and we are totally committed to making this happen.
And Tami, we have some other events coming up?
Sure. This year, this spring especially, we're going to have more focus on literacy projects throughout our region. In fact, all of the regional Rotary clubs are going to participate in a World Book Night in April. We'll give away free books to the general public to encourage reading. It's not to say you have to learn to read, it's just to enjoy reading and really promote reading to the younger generations as well.
Sounds terrific. And Errol, you're the incoming president. Are you ready to assume the reins?
Oh yes, I think Richard has actually laid a very, very good foundation and make it ever so much easier for me. So the transition is going to be a very easy one.
It's wonderful to meet all you guys and ladies, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
having us.
This is Kingston Now. Next, it's live music in the studio with John Holt, but first it's our Kingston Now profile. Meet Emily Scott, an up-and-coming artist in Kingston.
I'm Emily Scott, and Kingston is my art. I work at 327 Wall Street, which is Ink Inc. I'm here 5 days a week, and you can stop in anytime to see my art. It's all up on my wall. I also do a lot of custom art for people, you know, who don't really have too many ideas of what they might want tattooed. And I really, really like doing my personal art. I will also be showing at BSP with 2 of the other guys that I work with in March, I believe. I actually started at Ink Inc. last January, so I've been here just about a year now. And the rate at which my art progressed through, you know, the constant need for it with tattooing was just immeasurable. It was wonderful. Like, I was so surprised to see how much better things got when I was just putting my all into it every single day. And that's kind of what's required in my job, you know? So I think it was vital. It was vital for me to progress as an artist. Kingston is an incredibly artist-friendly city. You know, everywhere you look, you're seeing galleries, you're seeing street art, even like little stickers on signs. And everybody in this community is so supportive of artists, it makes it really easy. I mean, we've got Catskill Art across the street who not only sells us all our supplies, but puts our work up and shows a whole lot of support for us. BSP, same thing. They have beautiful art every month. Even down on the Strand, there's the art center there, which, you know, I guess gets people really in touch with art and makes them aware of what's going on in this city, which is really nice to see. So the art scene where I grew up was non-existent. So, you know, in comparison to Kingston, I'm coming from like this bleak, artless town where, you know, there's a few really inspiring people there, but then you come to Kingston and it's just like a flood of inspiration, you know, like you go from a quiet mountain town to like a big city where everybody's interested in art, you know, that's like kind of a part of Kingston. So it was really vastly different from where I was from. Wow, I've been doing art since before I can actually remember. So I'd say my entire life. It's been a passion of mine. It's something that I found relaxing, and inadvertently I was pretty all right at it, so that was cool. I moved to Kingston, 8 years ago? I'm actually from up on the back of a mountain, so coming to Kingston was kind of a culture shock at first, but it's really beautiful to be around so many different kinds of people and so many artists more than anything. So Kingston made me feel more comfortable than I think any other city would have. I absolutely love my job. I love doing custom works. I am influenced by everything. I listen to music. I'll take certain titles, certain things like that, and just draw whatever I see when I think of that. I work with 3 incredible artists who are constantly making me push myself to be better. I've also, in this industry, I've met some of the most incredible artists I've ever seen. You know, the guy who actually tattooed my whole chest up here is just phenomenal. Basically taught me how to paint when he didn't have to, you know. It's just, this is the kind of industry where you're just surrounded by it, and it's beautiful. It's awesome.
You're watching Kingston Now, and we're joined in the studio by one of the outstanding musicians who call the area home. From Woodstock, it's John Holt. Hi, John.
Hey, Jimmy Buff. How you doing?
I'm all right. Now, you've got a band called Hallow Dog.
I do.
Right? You guys have a nice new record out called Good Fights.
We do. Put out in April of this year, so it's relatively new.
Yeah, we consider that new.
Yeah.
The intro, I said the area is a good place for musicians. How do you find it as a musician? Is that the case?
I find it to be the case, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good support around here, you know. I've been around. I was out in San Francisco for a long time playing music, and you know, while that was a great scene, it didn't have like the home. You know, it kind of feels like a family around here. You know, you can all of us kind of stick together, the artists, and you know, in the community-wise, you know, people are into it. We get a lot of support, and you know, being who I am, I love the mountains, so. You know, I got a good music scene, and then I can go out my back door and, you know, be in the woods.
Which is sweet, huh?
A couple minutes, yeah.
Now, you've got a
great.
show coming up later this month at BSP Lounge in Uptown Kingston. You're on the bill with the Traps.
Yep.
And Hallow Dog and the Traps share a bass player. How does that work?
Share a bass player.
His name is Jason Cerubi.
Jason Cerubi, yes. And, yeah, he's great, and I love the Traps. You know, Sean's great, all the guys in the band. We also share a lap steel guy, Josh Roy Brown. So he's also...
So do you guys flip a coin for which band can play which night? I mean, this night is good because you're on the same bill.
Yeah, we're doing the same bill. Yeah, I mean, we work it all out, you know. But, yeah, it's going to be a great night. It's Saturday the 26th, and the Traps are going to hit the stage about 9 o'clock, and we'll be going on about 11, and we're really looking forward to it.
Now, BSP Lounge is one of the places in the area that has recently really started supporting local music. How important is that as an artist to you?
It's very important. You know, it's tough. I mean, we're lucky in Woodstock and here in Kingston to have a few places that support local original music. It's tough to find places that, you know, there's a lot of places to play if you're a cover band, but you know, if you're making original music, BSP is one of the places around that gets behind you, and that's important. I mean, takes a little bit of encouragement, and you know, we gotta have a place to test our wares, you know. So it's great around here. People come out, and there's a good community. And
well, you're going to make play us some original music this
yeah,
evening.
I'm going to try a new song out on you guys.
Well, tell us about it.
The song is called Some Old Crow, and yeah, I just say, you know, for me, songwriting, I never know where they come from. You know, there's always a little storyline in there somewhere, and I usually don't realize what it is until later when I listen back. So, but this popped out one night, and it's called Some Old Crow. I think I'm done with this ride. I'm jumping off. This would be my stop right up here. Something tells me I should pick up my pearls and maybe roll them down some other road. 'Cause you know, I'm just a shadow in your show, and I don't like that. All this one up playing leaves me feeling flat, so I should go. I'll be taking off like some old crow. Riding on the wind. I love the feeling of the space around my wings. I like good wind for my breath whenever I decide to sing. And I don't talk much, so I don't need a lot of company. I like it like this, 'cause then it all comes free for me. And it's easy to breathe when you're riding on the wind. you might be better off. Since I can't meet your needs, I can't shake the wild, and I can barely tend to my own seeds. But no matter what goes on, I'm gonna keep steady, staying true to the song. 'Cause that's just how I roll along. Riding on the wind, so I should go. I'll be taking off like some old crow.
Very nice, John Holt.
Thank you, sir.
Hallow Dog, your band, The Traps, performing at BSP Lounge in Uptown Kingston on January 26th. People can get information about your record, Good Fight, at hallowdog.com.
That's right.
Thanks for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
That's it for this week's show. Thanks to Richard Cattabiani, Tami, Herendeen, and Errol Boreland of the Kingston Rotary Club and the Kingston Sunrise Rotary Club. Thanks to Emily Scott, and thanks to John Holt of Hallow Dog. See them along with The Traps at BSP Lounge in Kingston on January 26th. Remember, all of our previous shows are available on our YouTube channel. You can find that link on our Facebook page. For Kingston Now, I'm Jimmy Buff. We'll see you next time.